Sucks to Be You, the first song on the album, is kind of like a skit record that we made in between two songs. Sometimes it happens and you don't use them, but with this one it felt like the perfect intro. It's sad, but it's also kind of funny because I'm mugging off my ex, which I love to do with all my exes. But yeah, I feel like it's a perfect introduction. So Sad Bitch, I wrote in LA. I was on the way to another session, and I walked in and I said I don't want to do any sad songs because everyone's writing sad songs, and everyone was like, thank God for that. So yeah, I wrote that down in my phone. Being sad is so 2020, and obviously I felt like we've moved on from 2020 now, so just made it to last year, so every year you can say the same thing. And yeah, I just felt like I've had enough of being sad, and we had a lot of sadness in lockdown, and now it's time to be happy. Psycho I did with loads of people. It was so much fun. We did it really late. I recorded the vocal whilst laying down on the floor. I'm guessing I was pretty drunk at this point. And we had so much fun making it. I put it on TikTok straight away. And everyone wanted H to be on it. Everyone was commenting H, so I sent it to him. He done a verse, and it was complete after that. I just love it because it's like I've been called psycho a lot in a lot of relationships, and I've definitely felt that way. And I kind of feel like it's giving the power back to us on that word. Like, yeah, I am a psycho, so what? I just love. So Haunt You is the rock pop song of the album. I love rock music, and when I wrote this song I wanted the whole album to be this sound, but then we wrote other songs that weren't rock, so it didn't make sense. But this is my chance at rock music. It's about basically your partner not treating you well and then leaving and finding someone else and then realising that I was better for them than, because you don't see it until it's gone, you know. And I felt like that had happened, and that's me saying I'm going to haunt you forever because you're going to think of me in every situation you go through, and that's fun. Yeah, it's a fun rock song, pop rock. It's about Trainwreck is emotional. It felt like I was going into the country world on the chorus, and I love country, so I was testing it out in this song. And it sounds like totally emotional and like sad, but actually it's a really powerful song because you're realising that I thought I was going to be a train wreck after the breakup, and everyone else thought I was going to be too, but I actually ended up being way more happier. And everyone's like, wow, I didn't expect you to feel like that. So, and I didn't expect it either. So it's a very good moment when you realise that it's a really good decision not to be with someone. Grudge is my song that I've always wanted to do because I've had a lot of therapists telling me to chill out, let it go, you know, a lot of quotes online that you see saying be the bigger person, you can get over this, and then you kind of realise sometimes you do just want to hold a grudge against someone forever because they're an asshole. And sometimes you shouldn't let things go and you should hold your ground and be strong about it, you know. So yeah, that's what that song's about. And that was the last song we wrote for the whole album, so that was like the finishing touch. And Obsessed is my chance to go back to my musical theatre days because I grew up in musical theatre and I love musical theatre and I love Oliver Twist. So I went to the studio in LA and I sang the chorus and I was like, I can't get this song out of my head. And they actually had never heard of it and thought that I'd come up with it. And I was like, no, it's not me, it's from a musical. And I changed the meaning of it to be about a boy and I'd do anything for that person. So this is the point in the album where it changes from being about my ex to someone new that I've met. So the journey starts there, and that's Obsessed. Kills Me to Love You is my version of a love song. I can never truly write a perfectly lovey love song. It always has to be a bit painful, but it's hopeful at the same time. Maybe not. It's like terrifying. I think love is terrifying. So that is that song for me, and I love it. I kept it really raw. The vocals are like one take, and you can just hear all the breaths, and I just wanted it to be really intimate with whoever's listening. That sounds a bit weird. Whatever. Unhealthy! Yo, this was one of my funnest studio sessions ever. I did it with people called Riley, Connor and Castle, and they were so much fun. I'd said before, I love country and I always wanted to do a country song, and in this moment I couldn't get the word unhealthy out of my head, and I could see the pack shot of me eating burgers and all like the grease dripping down my chin and smoking cigarettes and eating pasta and donuts, which is my life. I said, how would this work in relation to everyone else? So then it turned into being about relationship with a person, but still makes sense with my relationship with food. So yeah, it's all about, like, you know, when you meet someone and all your friends are like, no, he's not good enough for you, and your mum and dad are like, no, he's not the one, you can find better. And it's just like, you know in your heart sometimes what is right, and you just have to ignore everyone and just go for what you feel in your heart. So that's what that song's about. Irish Goodbye, it started off as a little skit as well. It was like maybe 40 seconds long, and we did it. It's about, basically, you know, when you're on a train and you like look at someone and you fall in love with someone instantly, and they don't even know you exist, but you've like planned out your whole life with them. So you've got babies and a house and you got a wedding ring, you know, all this stuff, but they just get off the next station and never know you exist. That's like me saying, why would you do that to me? Like, we were meant to be together forever. So I feel like those things happen a lot of times where you just fall in love with people, and then we liked it so much we just extended it and kept writing the whole song. So yeah. So Cuckoo is probably one of my favourites of the album, because I love writing songs about my bad ex-boyfriends, but I also love writing songs about like loving yourself and just accepting yourself who you are. And you know, all this time I've been saying, you know, I don't really like myself, but I'm a good person. So if you're a good person, then who cares, you know? But with this song, after all the therapy I've done, I kind of realised that I am a good person, but I'm also crazy, and I'm also like really weird, and I do weird shit, and I you know, all of this stuff. And I don't care if people think I'm crazy or weird, because I actually am. So this song is like a, hello everyone, this is who I am. Before you go out with someone, you kind of go, just before we get together, you need to know that I'm like this, and if you want to stay around, it's up to you, but I'm just letting you know who I am before we get into it. But You and I is probably the love song of the album. It's like, with Kills Me to Love You, it's like quite painful, but this one's just quite beautiful, and it's almost like, you know, when you feel like the world is against you, but you have one person who's just there, and they just know you, and they just know what to do. It could be a friend, it could be your mum, it could be your partner. It's just one person that just gets it. I knew it was meant to be a collaboration with someone like a male vocalist, and I just love Khalid's voice, and I sent it to him and said, please, I just think it sounds so good on this, and luckily he liked it. So yeah, that was a beautiful moment. Thank God for the internet. I knew it was the last song of the album, Never Loved Anyone Before. Oh God, again, another love song. Weird, this is so weird for me. But I feel like the start of the album is a bit like crazy, angry. The middle bit is a bit like obsessed and odd. And then the end kind of find the balance with You and I and Never Loved Anyone Before. It's a song that I just, again, had a lyric in my phone. It said, you've made me realise that I've never loved anyone before. And it's just like when you meet someone and the love is so overpowering that all the love you felt before in your past relationships just like sizzles away. And you're like, whoa, I thought that love was going to be the biggest love. I thought that love was going to be the biggest love. But this one just makes you feel differently about everything. So, yeah, that's that song. And that's the end of the album. So that's the journey we go on. So enjoy it. And it's